I'm going to use this properly. Right, here goes. I'm Judy, and I'm the running so-and-so. And this is my first attempt at vlogging. Wanting to do some sewing back in when I was, I think about 4. And my mum made me do a sampler. She got some jam jars on a piece of paper, not fabric, sorry, drew around them and made me do embroidery stitches around them. I'm surprised I'm still sewing because that was one Christmas too many for sewing. Anyhow, I kept going and eventually a beautiful sewing box. Here it is. Now it will have come from John Lewis in Nottingham back in the day. So this is Christmas 1969. 1969? 1970. Forgetting how old I am now. Anyway, here it is inside. Still working. It's still using it. Yes, I love a sewing machine. And back in, when I was 18, my dad wanted to get me a sewing machine. And he wanted to get me a Bernina, as it was then, an 801 Sport. And I said, nope, don't want that. Don't want that at all. I'd seen something much more fun and I wanted that. And my dad, being my dad, was saying, no, you want something bigger than that. And I was like, nope, definitely want this sewing machine. I definitely want this sewing machine. And I still got it. And it does still work because just about 18 months ago, I took it up to my lovely friends at David Drummond's Sewing Machines in Scotland. And bless them, they managed to fix it. David did actually have a purchaser for it when he was there. And I said, I can't let go of it, David. I just need to keep it. Mind you, I think if they'd offered me a 4-figure sum for it, I'd have taken it. But here it is. It is an original. I'm going to hold it up because I don't want to move the camera. Elna Lotus. Look at that. Is that not so cool? And somewhere I've got the instruction manual. I have lost some of the attachments for it, but it does work and it's such a little workhorse. I actually made my wedding dress on that little sewing machine. And the most exciting thing was it had a free arm. Oh, and a swing needle, because my mum had an old Jones straight stitcher. And they put me on that when I was 6 because I wanted to make dolls' clothes. And I wanted one of those old-fashioned dolly sewing machines you could get in Woolworths and you turn the handle for, or you put a battery in it and pressed a button. They wouldn't let me have one of those. They said it was a waste of money. I could use Mum's sewing machine instead. So they had a little chair and they propped me up on this little chair with cushions. And if you put your foot to the floor, it just shot off. You know, it was like 0 to 60 in a millisecond. Anyhow, I used that and I played with that and I did hand sewing and I did embroidery. I can remember making a shirt at school when I was 10 because Miss Steele, and boy, she was Miss Steele. She was as hard as nails. What a name for a teacher that's as hard as nails, Miss Steele. Our year 6 in those days, we all made blouses. Everybody else made a blouse that was easy to wear. I had to have set-in sleeves. Not good enough. Anyway, sewing just carried on, tootling along. And something I always loved, but I had an academic father and he didn't approve of too much sewing, and sewing was not something he did in school. So I was never allowed to follow it through till I got to 16, and education had been a bit tough for me at that point. So really spilling the beans here. And my new head teacher, when we moved up to Beverley, said, well, Professor Pugh, what does your daughter like doing? And then she looked at me and said, what do you want to do? And I said, I love sewing. And she said, right then, we're going to make certain that you sew. And apart from making certain I got all the academic qualifications that I needed, she insisted to my father that I actually undertook all the sewing things that I wanted to do. And in those days, it was mainly embroidery that was really firing me up. Oh, but Miss Clover, being Miss Clover, insisted that I did dressmaking as well. Well, that was it, basically. So tootling along with a needle by hand sewing. And believe me, hand sewing is so important. And I'm a very fine hand sewer. I can quilt. Started off and I just took to it like a duck to water. So I had my sewing machine and the rest is history. I tootled along and I made things for me and sewed with my mother and had a fantastic teacher. And this teacher I had a fantastic teacher in school, Mrs. Barnaby. She insisted on tacking. And ladies, if you don't like tacking or basting, if you're over in the States, I'm really sorry. It's so essential. Tailor's tack, those little dots on your patterns, don't try and mark them with a pen. Thread tailor's tack. Judy's top tip of the day. Tailor's tack, you can't go wrong because because you know exactly where the mark is and it can't rub off. Though do them in the same, they say do them in the same colour as your dress, but no, I do them in a different colour and I can get them out, because usually as you get to the point you can pull them out. That's a top tip. That was a side. I'm sorry. Anyhow, apart from Mrs. Barnaby, who was great, I was really lucky in that my parents had two really good friends. The first was a lady called Sue Wilson, and she did City & Guilds fashion, and we're talking 1980s, early 1980s. And she was great. I used to babysit for her children, and she used to give me so many tips and things. And then she helped me with my wedding dress when I actually cut out the fabric. I actually cut it out with Sue, and then everything else was sewn at home. And Sue was there to help me. And it was just a question of making certain I've got all the directional, everything was going in the same direction, because the dress was a white lace. I'll see if I can put a picture in up there. Now, if the picture up there doesn't come in, it's because I'm new to this. And at the moment, the video has been going for 5 minutes and 39 seconds and I haven't stopped. So I'll try and put a picture up there I've still got the pattern. And then it was like chantilly lace overlay dress, and it was complete long sleeves and a frilly neck. It was very 1986. And then a silk dress underneath. And I carried on sewing, had my children. And we got to about 1991, and I wanted the sewing machine to do a little bit more. And my husband my husband bought me a Bernina 1090. And we kept on sewing, and the thing was a workhorse. And then I wanted something different, and I knew that you could get a semi-computerized machine. So in 2000, and I think it was either 2000 2001, I had done some research, and I said to my husband, and I was working by then, so I had a little bit of cash of my own, and I said, I want a new sewing machine. So David said, yeah. Anyhow, wind the clock forward, carried on sewing. Lots of things, quilts, dance costumes, you name it, curtains, just didn't stop. So basically I then got another sewing machine when I sold my marital home that I had with David. And I bought a 770, and the rest is history, because just a few weeks ago I decided I needed something different, and Mr. Drummond, bless his cotton socks, had got an 880 plus. Absolutely love it. So sewing's been fantastic. It's just been like a massive light bulb. It's like a lighthouse going off, like a big explosion, like a nuclear explosion of sewing. And you know, we've got people like Elisa Comfort who started Sew Over It. Then there's the sewing community. That's just growing. That's just fantastic. I mean, friendship, it's just amazing. I mean, I went on a course with Lauren in the shop there, and there I met a few lovely ladies whom I'm in touch with. I don't speak to them all the time. There's a lady called Dazia Makes. I met her there, and then Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne. I can remember talking to Tamlin about her setting up her vlog and letting sewing take over her life, and now look at her. She's a vlogger of the century, and she's got a lovely little boy Taylor. Well done, Tamlin, you're a star. And I've now discovered there's a vloggers network on Facebook, so thank you everybody on there to encouraging me. Sean, Kittenish Behaviour, I was going to get to you, Sean, I wasn't going to leave you out. What an inspiration. The one I do see a lot of, and you've probably seen me on her channel, is Rach at Stitch Up, and it's simply Rachel lives down the road and we both run. And I sort of put a message on one of her vlogs and just said, hey, if you want to run, I'm only up the road. And we met up, and then life took over. And lots of encouragement from you guys, and I decided that I would go for it. So you've got a little bit about me, but I thought the first time that I speak to you, I need to sort of explain where I've come to and where I'm at with my sewing. Because one of the videos I am going to post was the unboxing of my 880. And as a lot of you will know, I had a really nasty accident at the beginning of June, and basically put paid to me running for quite a while. We're getting better. So the things that I've got coming, I'm going to do the unboxing of my sewing machine video. That is nearly done. I'm also redoing my sewing room, and I'm not going to show you anything. I'm going to put that on a different video. But so I'm moving my sewing room to a lovely space I've got in the house that is basically not being used properly at the moment. I've got, when the house, I live in an old school, so this window up here is actually high. If you can think Victorian schools, it's actually a high window. So it's quite high, and there's another one at the other end of the room as well. So I've got everything on the dining room table, but it would be really lovely to have this lovely former classroom back as my living room and use it for my hand sewing in the evening, because I do love it. Just a little bit about life, you know, when you have a major trauma in your life and you have to rebuild, you need to take your time, and eventually you get to the point you think, actually, I think I'm getting somewhere. It's 12 years and I can now say I think I'm actually getting somewhere and actually talk about it without crying as well. So I'm going to move into this kitchen space, and my daughter, because I still can't drive, my daughter's taking a day off work and she's taking me back to IKEA. Lovely Rachel took me last week to get the first bits for the sewing room, and we got a little bit, but I didn't know exactly what I needed, so we got a few things to see if they'd work. But Hannah's taking me back today to get the rest of it, and then she will put it together for me. She loves a bit of IKEA. She's her grandfather's daughter. I mean, seriously, he was an engineer. My dad has got a lot to answer for. So that's what I'm doing. So I've got the sewing video. I'm not going to say that I'm going to post a video every week. Anyway, I just thought I might just do another little confession while I'm on this to you. I love Atelier Brunette. Oh. Ladies, if you order from France, you can order one of these. It's an Atelier Brunette shopping bag, and in it it's got Atelier Brunette purchases. Now, I like a challenge. The current challenge is, I'm just going to stop you for 1 minute. I'm going to stop you. So I was desperate for, you know that Atelier Brunette did some, a while ago, they did a French Terry's, and they had a lovely one, it was Starburst. It was like a midnight black with little gold dots on it. They do it in pink as well, but I could never get it. And when they had the sale, if you sign up to their newsletter, you get advance warning into their sale, and the sale is all cut lengths, so you have to ask if they have the length you want ready cut, and it's little roll ends. I've got it. That's so excited. I don't know what to do with it. I've got it says its dimensions are 150 by 170. I'm a fan of the is it the Linden by Grainline? Absolutely love it. Absolutely love that. So I've got that to make up. But I've also got some other fabric and a pattern. I'll show you what I've got here. I've got this this one here. Now, there it is. It's the Babette trousers by Singular Patterns. Singular Patterns don't put a seam allowance on, so you have to put the seam allowance on, but I rather liked the waist. And to make these, I was going to do them as a short, but I'm actually tempted to actually do the full length. I'm just going to put the pattern down because I've actually got Tencel Twill, again from Atelier Brunette. That one. This isn't Storm, can't remember the colour, but I just love their Atelier Brunettes. It's so soft, and their viscoses have got slightly more substance to them, so if you want to have a bit of ease in your sewing, the substance to your fabric is really very, very essential. This was another coupon. I've always liked that, and I thought Ogden cami sometime, so that's really not as if I need anything else to go into my stash, but there you go. And oh, the next one I've got is from Harriet at Semi Sunshine. Is that not just such good? It was on her sale. That's to make another Ogden cami or one of the I Am cami tops. I just think it's gorgeous. It's all washed and ready to go, ready to be made, but cut out and ready to sew, because I have to divide my sewing up because I'm doing Anorak August with the Sheffield Social, and I want to film that separately. I'm making the Maison Fauve, Le Pippa short, Le short Pippa. So it's the Pippa shorts. The instructions for this are in English. It doesn't say they are online, but they are. It's absolutely lovely. I love the petal design. Can you see? And then I'm going to mention Sian again. Sian has mentioned batch sewing, and if you've not done batch sewing, or you look at your pattern and you set up everything and block sew. So take your pattern and you might be able to put 2 pieces together there and another bit from further down the line. Check your instructions. Don't necessarily go through methodically, because you can put bits together and it saves you time. So I've actually got, as well as the Pippa shorts, I've got the, sorry, it's in my Elba file here. It's the Bloom Top by Maison Fauve as well, which I liked a lot. And they've got these lovely little art drawings. If I show you the line drawing on the back, can you see there? It's got, this is an over piece with a scalloped edge, which I really liked. And then you've scalloped edge around the top and then down the side here. These all came from Atelier Brunette because they now do patterns. And I've got for the top, this lovely new one. This is, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just get a smaller piece. I think the dogs have got the cat in, I can hear it. This one here. It's beautiful. You can actually see the quality in this fabric is absolutely fantastic. It's a really, really good quality fabric. And it's a viscose. And then I've got for the shorts, a viscose twill. She says trying to grab it from here. The only mistake I did make was I got confused with the pattern numbering. But you need a challenge, ladies. Don't just accept it's easy. Everybody makes mistakes. I just read the pattern numbers wrong. And this is, again, this is the blush tencel twill. If you've not tried, Atelier Brunette will send you samples as well. Can you just excuse me? That's the dogs. I've come back because I've forgotten something. I've said it's running so-and-so, running sewing life. And I've talked about the sewing, I've talked about the life, I've not talked about the running. The running's actually on hold. Well, I learned to walk properly again, without crutches and without a leg splint. But I started running 2.5 years ago. I had a very severe mental breakdown. My wonderful son suggested that I went to parkrun. That's it. Went to parkrun, started running. Had 1 dog, got a 2nd dog. And I run with my dogs, which is why I was so pleased when I did the logo. I saw somebody running a dog properly, proper Candy Cross pictures. I thought, that's going on. I hope you enjoy things as they go forward. And let's see where this vlog takes us. It's a journey for everybody. It's basically running through life with a bit of sewing. So thanks for staying with me. Thanks for listening. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.